Hello everyone, welcome to Haselor Honey. We're here at the orchard apiary today, and I'm going to be transferring a nuke into a full hive. That's the plan anyway. Right. So look in there, okay. So what I'm going to do is just move this hive across, or this nuke across, over to here. Right. So their new entrance is going to be here, in the same place roughly as before. Oh. Brood box goes on there. Got some frames for them, because obviously there's not full of frames. There's only going to be, I think there's 5 in there. Dummy boards. So it's important to put the frames in the same order as you take them out of there, out of the nuke, because you're going to have your nest in there, so you want those 5 frames in the middle. That makes sense. So give them a bit of smoke. It's a bit of a stormy day today. We've had rain, it's threatening more. There's also sunshine. So I'm going to try and get this done as quick as I can and make sure they don't get too annoyed because of the weather mainly. The box is quite packed full of bees and fresh wax, and I'm just looking now to see the best way of getting these out, because there's quite a lot of not a lot, I should say, not quite a lot, not a lot of space in here. So I don't want to go crushing bees. So I'm just loosening the frames up for now. The foragers are returning and they're wondering what's going on. They will still find this entrance because they recognise the entrance. You can move your hives about 3 meters, I think you'll get away with it, from its original position, and they will find their way in eventually because they recognise the look of their hive. Right then, so let's see, without causing too much of rolling bees, which will get them really annoyed. So slowly and gently, because we don't want to kill the queen either, because we don't know where the queen is. So I'm doing it very gently. Some of them are rolling because you can see them bubbling out a bit. Wasn't that bad. Right, so straight over into here, like I said, in the same order. So I'm having a quick look, see if I can see the queen. Loads of eggs and larvae. Can't see the queen, but there's lots of eggs and larvae. You can see the empty cells there have got eggs and larvae in. Probably won't be able to see that on camera, but you'll see they're empty. So I'm putting it in. So I've took that frame there, put it in there, and I'm going to do the same with this frame. I'm going to make sure that face of the frame is against that face of the frame. You can see they need a bigger hive, more room. You can see there's lots of cat brood there, which is the little flat areas. If it's slightly bumped or raised, then that's what they call drone brood, which when I find some, if I find some, I will let you know. When I'm looking through this frame, I am also looking for the queen. I'm looking for disease, which you can see from either on the bees, or you can see on the brood, the cat brood. See whether it's sunken, whether it's darkened. There's different diseases cause different things to the bees, different problems, and it's mainly the brood you can see it on. So that's why I have a good look at the brood, the baby bees. Right, same again there, having a quick look. Lots of cat brood there again. It looks healthy. It's what they call like a digestive biscuit colour. Brown. You can see on there, I don't know, you can see it, the lighter coloured wax. That means it's fresh, it's not long been there. And you can see where they've built it up on the frame there slightly. That's quite new wax. After a while, it does go dark, like this here, because of their dirty feet walking all over the wax and makes it dirty. I haven't seen the queen yet, but I'm not really expecting to. Come on, girls. They've built the frames out quite a lot. Now this frame, they've actually made a right mess of. You can see where it's all been, it's full of eggs, so I'm going to leave it in there, but it's all misshapen and all over the place for some reason. The trouble with that, it just makes things harder to see. You won't see the queen so well. Queen cells, because they hide them up in a way, but you can see where they've sort of, I don't know why, but they built it away from the frame, and I'm not sure, to be honest, but bees will be bees. Lots of brood, lots of eggs, and lots of cat brood in there as well. And as you can see, they're not as brown, so they're newer, so they've not long been capped, if that makes sense. If you remember, the other colour was like a digestive biscuit colour, brown colour. These are like a creamy colour. But all I want to do is I'll put that back in there anyway, because otherwise we will have it would mess up the nest. And what I will do is slowly remove that frame and move it to the edge of the nest and eventually take it away from them. Same as this one. I don't know what's happened in here for them to do this. Whether it's just because there was so many in there. This has got it stuck to the edge, to the box, so I'll just free it up. There we go. This one's the same, you can see. I don't know why, but for some reason that frame has come away from that frame. The wax, I should say, has come away from the frame, and it's made them build it funny. You see the wire there. I don't know what happened there, but they might repair it and put it right, they might not. But there's two frames that we need to look at, but that has absolutely chock-a-block full of eggs as well. I'll try and take a photo of that and show a photo. So put that on it. So now what I've done is I've put all that back in the same order as it came out and have it in the middle of the box. And then you put, I've got a couple of frames here that are that have already been drawn out, so that will help them a lot. I'll just get rid of some of this wax that's on it. So this frame is drawn. So it's called drawn. You can see it's got all the cells already made up on there. So that will help the bees straight away, because they can start using that literally straight away. So that's what you call a drawn frame. And this is undrawn. This is just a foundation. So this is just a very thin wax with a hexagon print on for them to build their cells off. So this is their foundation for them to build off. Put a couple of those in this end. Move that up a little bit. There's another one there which is, you can see it's been eaten away at for whatever reason by the bees, and they sometimes rob the wax from elsewhere. So they will, what the bees will do, they will just draw that back down again. They will make it out and just fill it in. A little bit of wax sticking out there. But try and make these frames stick together properly, otherwise if you leave any little gaps, them gaps will slowly get bigger and bigger and bigger, and then you won't get the frames in. For some reason I didn't do this one. This has got propolis on it though, for some reason. There we go. Another one of those in there. And then I'll put a dummy board in. Which a dummy board is basically a bit of ply. So it allows me to have room to get the frames out safely. They were very tight in there. But at the moment, there's a lot of room. This will stop the bees building wax down there, and then I can remove that and then move the frames to get frames out safely. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 frames in there. I could get 12, could squeeze 12 in, but by the end of the season, it will be really squeezing them in, because it will be really, really tight, because eventually they get little gaps where they take it in and out, and they build up a bit of propolis, a bit of wax, and if you don't pull them up close together, it builds real bad, and eventually the frames do, which seems quite a big gap, but when you've done it on each one of these lugs, after a while that gap gets smaller and smaller, and then you won't get a frame in there. For instance, like that frame I can put in because we got the room. It's tight, it'll go in there, but then when that's all built out like these, and I've got to try and get this frame out, I've got a chance of rolling bees and killing the queen, damaging bees, damaging the queen, and just generally annoying the bees. So you put a dummy board in there, and all that does, it helps stop the bees building in the gap. So just equalise the space out a bit. Stops the bees building in the gap, and then you've got somewhere to remove a frame safely. Right, I'll just go and get the, I forgot to bring the crown board over. Right, there's a crown board. I won't put it in just yet. The bees are all making their way back to here, because like I said, they know their hive was over there, but they recognise the front of their hive, because here's the front of their hive. And they recognise the front with the blue. So they're all in there. And you can tell they're forager bees because, if I show you, they've all got, and you can see it, they've all got pollen and things on their legs. So they're the birds, the bees that have returned foraging. So all I'm going to do now is I'm just going to shake them out, basically. A couple more in there. So now they will be flying around trying to work out what's going on. But I'll go around and show you in a minute, but you'll have bees at the front of the hive, at the entrance, and they will be fanning their wings. spreading the pheromone of the queen to say, we're over here now, we've moved. So yeah, so they basically stick their bum in the air, fan the queen pheromone to say where they all are, and then the rest of the forager bees can find their way. What I'm going to do is put the crown board on now, which is basically an inner cover. I'm going to remove these other frames because it's attracting some of the bees, because again, like I said, they don't know where they are and what's going on. But I'm sure they will find their way back to that entrance. Just going to close it up. Oh, bang. Right, well, it was that simple, to be fair. That was, they weren't too feisty. I thought they might have been, because of the weather. As you can see, they're all a bit up over the place at the moment. All over the place, I should say. But it won't take them long. They find their way in. I think they're getting better at it now anyway, look. They're on the entrance. A couple of them have got their butt in the air, saying that's over here. Come over here, guys. So that's it. They don't take them long to find their way back in. And then eventually they'll learn their new entrance after a few days. So yeah, simple. Transfer a nuke over, or nucleus, small colony. The key thing is to keep the frames together, that you take out the one nucleus out the one hive, put into the other, keep the order the same. Because otherwise you'll split the nest up, and that can be quite disruptive to the bees, and also could potentially kill baby bees because of the way the bees spread out to keep the brood warm, etc. So, right, okay, thanks for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't. Thanks for everyone that has subscribed, that's great. And see you on the next one. Thank you.